needed for hell mode. So I've been doing a lot of stuff lately between working on the script decompiler, adding some new features there, and been reworking the entire battle HUD basically because it's super tangled up in the scripts and it's just really hard to work with. So, we're kind of like laying the path for modders to be able to add new items and things like that. And basically the battle UI was like a very, very big roadblock because it just like doesn't work with our registries. It needs numbers, but there's only a very, very limited number of item slots available in the retail game. What is it? Zychronics like 64?
Yeah, it only counts 64 items and 192 equipment.
Yeah, and they've already got like basically all those items used. Um, there's what, like maybe 10 item slots available, so you know, very, very quickly, if you were making a mod or if you were installing mods from other people, you would run out of those 10 item slots really quickly. So let's just fire it up and I'll just kind of show off some of the most recent stuff. What's up, Ink? What's up, Jill, Matthew, Chocolate, Nick? Did I miss anybody? Pony Bro? What's going on? So for the most part, the item list looks very, very, or the battle HUD looks very, very similar. You'll notice slight difference in the item list is that the numbers are right aligned. It doesn't look great because the numbers aren't fixed width, but we'll fix that up in the near future. We've got disregard that number. We've got the new and improved edition swap. So you can see the XP. Here you would see the XP to the next level, but I've already got these maxed out. As well as the number of hits, the damage, and the SP. That'll be very helpful when you're deciding what you wanna use. And the spell menu is mostly the same, just slight visual update. It just shows the MP in the list rather than having a little breakout window. I just noticed that it says Dark N Strength. That can't be a retail thing.
I believe that is a retail thing. I can check.
Sure. Check it out. Yeah, Zanryu, I actually added that a little while ago. That's been in there for a couple of months. You just press triangle when you're on the battle menu. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. I was just screwing around with some stuff for the video thumbnail. We'll just go ahead and reset these. I think there was one other one as well. Yeah, right here. There we go. So yeah, that's kind of the only real visual differences here. Now, of course, the code is very, very different. Let's just kill this guy real quick.
Yeah, the typo is in retail.
The typo is in retail. I am not surprised.
The new edition menu, though, will be helpful if you're playing Japan demo because of how the editions work.
Uh,
Master Edition isn't the best edition always for damage and SP, so you might want to switch more often if you're playing that.
Interesting.
I always sound like a robot. So I don't know if I'm actually sounding like a true robot. I don't know.
You are. Oh, I think you're being picked up twice here. Let me just fix my audio. That should be there. Can you try talking for a sec?
Sure, I
Okay.
guess.
Yeah, you're only being picked up once now. All right.
Yes,
All
I
better.
am an AI. That's why I'm working on the upscale project. It's all AI.
All right. I am gonna go ahead and just fix that typo real quick.
All right, technically every spell is a typo.
Yeah. We'll just stash that, pull the changes into the main code. All right. I've been doing a lot of code juggling for the past couple of hours because I've done a lot of like renaming and shuffling things around in this code that I've been working on, and I kind of wanted to pull some of that out into its own changes. Apparently you sounded like some sort of deity, so maybe we should switch it back. Okay, so let's fire this back up now that we've got the audio and stuff fixed. Yeah, there we go. Down. So, in doing all this, I've been doing a lot of work on the player combat script. And I've rewritten a whole lot of it, as well as fixed quite a few bugs that we found in it. So one of those bugs was that, actually let me bring up that image. So I think we might have actually found some beta versions of the element colors. So this here, this image is colors that I extracted from the player combat script. So these are what colors it assigns to each element. A lot of them are super similar, like these three here, and Divine is fairly similar to those as well. But like, Earth and Light I can kind of see, but like Thunder being sort of like a pale greenish, beige-ish color is just kind of super weird. But anyway, so when you threw items in battle, we actually realized it was using the wrong colors. So you can kind of see that this is like sort of purple now, and this is what it was supposed to be. It's not a big thing, but it is just one of those like weird random bugs or like you know beta parts of the game or whatever that kind of just got forgotten about. Yeah, with the high definition rendering, it really makes a difference in character quality. And the torture of the Berserk mouse, that is never going to happen. Hey, Berserk Mouse committed the crime of being the very first encounter of the game, so it had it coming. Okay, so Zychronics.
Yes.
So we need to get this code onto a branch so that you can merge your stuff in. Okay, so yeah, we've got quite a few changes here. Main dot battle menu.
Oh, that is an interesting question. Does the player combat script handle the item mashing?
It does not. That is in every single item script. And
No wonder all those beta items have different mashing then.
yeah, so it's kind of funny that that you asked that, Nick, because I was wondering how long it would take for somebody to notice, but yeah, so I last night I actually added in automatic button mashing. You got three configurations here. You can either do the regular button mashing, you can hold the button down, so you can kind of choose how strong you want it to be just by holding. Or you can just do fully automatic, which will always do the full 268. Yeah, that was kind of just something that I just kind of threw into the changes here, and I was going to see how long it took somebody to notice that the option was there, but I guess Nick is too quick. Yeah, exactly. We had a lot of things like this for accessibility reasons. I'm not a big fan of the button mashing, so I will probably use the automatic or hold most of the time. Other people might like doing it or like the extra challenge that it adds. So, it's entirely up to the person to decide how they want to play the game.
We can finally do Twitch plays Sever Chains.
Yeah. Actually, we've had some loose plans to do that for a very long time and may actually already have some code written for that. So, whenever I get around to polishing that up, we are actually going to do that. Okay, so Chronics. That is on a branch. Is your code in your own repo or is it on a branch in the main repo?
It's on the branch in the main org repo.
It looks like it's coming from your branch,
Oh, all
or
right.
from
My
your repo.
Sever Chain. Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
believe you have access to it already.
yeah, I'm just going to redirect your pull request onto a branch of the battle menu branch. So we can see how much damage there is here.
I haven't merged recently, so we'll find out.
Um, what's up, Spyro? How's it going? We are working on getting some hard mode stuff in here. Let's
All the
take
merge commits.
let's take a look at what we've got here. You
But
deleted
my
all this
GitHub
stuff,
doesn't look
right?
like this.
What does
Yeah, I
your...
deleted all of that.
Okay. And I deleted the other things, so we just delete everything.
Why does my GitHub not do this? Is this an entire file?
Yeah, this is the merge resolution.
They really don't like GitHub Desktop.
Who uses GitHub Desktop?
Me. But I unironically I've been using the command line because GitHub Desktop doesn't let me merge from the upstream
Good, learn to
in the
use
UI.
command line. Okay, so we're just going to... Oops.
All right, that's the new script event.
Yeah, so I just renamed that structure. Um, so this method no longer exists at all. Um, what are you doing here?
Uh, just an enum based on the type, but I only need to know one type. Everything else I ignore.
So that method is no longer being used at all.
Huh. Is there a way to figure out what type of magic is being used?
Um, let me
Let
take a
me
look at what
open
you're
up
doing in there.
Dramod for a second. Yeah, I need to look up what I'm doing. uh, temporary. Uh, I'm checking if the attack type is in the spell or item menu. And then I'm tracking the item itself or the spell that's being selected. So I just need a way to tell if you're in the item or spell menu or not, which I think that should be easy enough to do somewhere.
Okay, so item stats no longer exists. Um, it's only done through the registry class now. Both item stats and equipment stats are completely gone. If we take a look at where this was. So there is still set temp spell stats because that doesn't use the registries yet. Um, However, the set active item method, this is just a reference to an item now. None of the other um, none of the other item stats and stuff actually exist. And it is more reasonable where this is being set to. It's not being set like all over the place anymore. So you're using this. Sorry, can you say again what you were using this for?
I was using the set temp item magic stats to see if you were basically in the menu or not.
To see if you were in the menu or not. And what did you need to do that for?
If the item ID or spell ID you were trying to use was above 64, it was crashing.
Okay, so that
So
shouldn't be needed
yeah,
anymore
yeah.
because the menu has no concept of item IDs anymore. So that should actually just be fine. Alright, what's going on here? I'm assuming this is the same thing. Okay, so yeah, you probably just changed that line and that's it. That's been moved to item apply buffs. And again, this has just been removed. Okay, that's it for that. On to the next one. Okay, so this has become that. Resolved. I see you named this variable, and I also named the variable. That may cause a
Yours
problem.
is a better name than mine.
Of course, we've got a bunch of imports. Yeah, so the last item selected is no longer going to be a thing.
Yeah, I would like to not keep track of that because I'm keeping it's being kept track in this SC branch, and then it's being kept track of in Dramod at the same time. So
Mm. Yeah, none of this code exists anymore. Nor does any of this.
I think I removed the SP bar stuff. Hopefully, don't see it yet. Can still do custom. Wait, I forgot if I kept the custom colors per individual characters. So I thought it would be
Um,
cool if like Dart had his own red bar for his Dragoon, and then Lovitz has his green bar. I don't know. I haven't done it yet for helm mode or hard mode, but that's what I was planning to do. Each bar gets brighter the more SP bars you have.
okay.
But I still think it's using the default colors.
Yeah, that's tricky to make readable. That's my only concern with that. Okay, so we are going to merge you into this new branch. And we will see if this still compiles. Hello? Are you doing something? Okay, I think it compiled. Battle HUD may be janky because you made a lot of changes here and so did I. Looks like it's fine. Okay, and I need to clone Grandma as well. Oh, the code is in the repo for Draymod? Or in the
Yeah, it's
org?
in the repo. I'm trying to fix the compiling issues right now. I might just comment things out. It just needs to get in battle.
Dragoon modifier. It's oh, is this? This is the old one.
Oh no, yeah, you passed by it.
I'm probably just blind.
It's it's labeled SC Dragoon modifier. I should really have given it a better name.
There it is.
I'm like behind you on the stream, so I can't point you in the direction.
Okay, so we're gonna clone that. I need to deploy this to Maven local.
And then you need to change to the hell mode branch.
Mm. Nick, right now, I'm making some major changes to the dev build. I would say if you want to use the dev build, wait until this weekend. It is normally pretty stable, but I'm doing some major rewrites right now, so it may or may not be. I can't make any guarantees there. What's the main hell mode branch?
It's just called hell mode.
Hell mode, all one word.
Yes.
Does not match any file. Oh, I'm in the wrong MSys window. That's why.
Right. I was still trying to patch the player combat script. How did you patch it? Like, can
Uh,
two patches, can we, like, two different patches patch the same file?
no, what are you trying to do?
The Archer stuff was what I was trying to do. That's where I left off.
What
I was trying to
Archer stuff are you
patch
trying to do?
when Shanna uses uh, her just normal attack,
Mm-hmm.
the SP is all fixed. So I was trying to change that.
Okay. So I am going to be basically just shipping an entirely new player combat script. Um, like what I've done here, if we were to generate a diff of this, it would be ridiculous. So we're just gonna ship an entirely new player combat script with severed chains. So I mean we can make whatever changes are necessary there.
That makes my life easier because I I had patching issues.
Yeah. I mean the patcher does work perfectly fine.
Yeah, no, it's a
You
me issue. It's a skill issue.
you may have been trying to use patches that had comments and stuff in them.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so Severed Chains uses a couple of command line flags with the patcher. It uses no comments and or strip comments and strip names. Um, so if your patch is not generated with those, then it won't work. Okay, so I've got Grandmod set up here.
Drama does not have all the recent patches, so those need to be copied over the entire patches folder
Okay.
before you can run it.
Um, so we are missing a lot of events here. What version is it set
Did
to pull
you
in?
publish? It's just snapshot, or it should be. I forget.
Yeah, it is set to snapshot. I did publish to Maven Local. Now, is something weird going on here with the dependencies? Um, yes, something weird is going on. Sever chains. Oh, here it is. Let me make sure that it's using the newest version. Yeah, it's got the item list menu and stuff, so that is the newest version. Oh, it's because I haven't pulled. So the year changes weren't actually there.
Oh,
Okay, so let's redeploy. Okay, yeah, so we do have some issues here that we'll need to address. Where did you move the additions table?
uh,
Okay,
to character data.
you updated this a fair bit, so I'm going to have to recreate those changes. Okay, so level is same. Mission levels, yes. Number of attacks. Um, Character index. It'll be this dot player dot character ID. That is index. So you might not be using menu. Yeah, no, you are.
I think there is a method in there that should, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, but I is just the straight up index of the edition. Okay. Then we
Right, and the
need.
additions are not like 15 is what it's at start. It's actually like 0. Every character's first edition is edition ID 0 now.
Okay.
Um,
Then get addition damage. Also takes level. Okay. Do we have any other conflicts here? We have some dead imports. So yeah, when I checked that before, we didn't actually have this here. Okay. Push this update. Is push that. And now we can publish to Maven Local. Okay. We do still have errors.
48 is. Oh, I didn't update that.
Uh, did I change that on my branch? I don't think I did.
No, I did. I haven't
Okay.
updated Dramod to reflect the change I did. Um,
Okay.
I should just discard my changes here and not include the player stuff.
Oh, right. You changed this that you weren't using the set method.
Right. So now I need the long winded way of just doing y plus whatever.
Mm-hmm. Now what has changed here? You want to start doing that? I'm gonna start working on fixing some of this other stuff.
Yeah. All right. All changes discarded, and I can start
Oh yes,
merging stuff again.
I split out insta kill.
Oh.
Um that is that property that Total Vanishing uses.
Oh, that's just a new boolean to check then on the flag for target type.
Hmm.
I'm just
Um
catching up here.
so targets. Boolean insta kill equals target and hex 80 unequal to 0.
You didn't add any new graphics with the player combat script changes, right?
No. No,
All
no
right.
new graphics here. Attack type equals 5. What is this attack type? What is
Oh, that's the thing I
temporary?
changed to the enum. We can just leave this out for now and I'll fix it later. Because I was just checking if you're in the speller item menu.
Hmm,
I I updated my SC branch. I didn't update Dramod.
right. Yeah, most of these changes are minor. It'll only take me a minute to fix up a lot of this stuff. Yeah, the only thing will be the stuff above.
Don't get hot. This stuff don't fail me now. Why is it taking so long to commit? There we go. All right, I merged in the new patches.
Okay, got them. You're also going to need the meta. Okay, you did copy that as well.
Yeah, I just copied the entire patches in GFX folder.
Yeah.
Oh, what's wrong with Element now?
That's no longer accessible from outside.
Ooh,
You should be able to use get attack element.
right. The
Yeah.
Element bug. I should work on that this weekend.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out what's going on there. So now all these places where you are looking up the item ID from the player, that's no longer a thing. Players don't have item IDs.
Oh, how do I know what they're using?
What are you trying to do?
Just the registries, right? I just need to look up like, oh, what is this here? Oh god. Oh, this is some Dragoon level 7 thing. I haven't used level 7 in ages because I'm not there yet. Oh, this was like, oh, a healing potion is used on Maru. She's not supposed to actually have healing. So I need to check, like, oh, if you're using healing potion, healing breeze, healing rain, the healing to Maru should be 0. So, like, I need to check the registry for what's being used. Yeah, I do some weird things.
Oh god, you're just keeping your CSV as okay, you gotta change this so that you're loading things into classes and not just parsing strings every single time.
That is something I was planning to get to eventually. I still have the folder, the CSV stat changer, because that's what it originally was before it turned back into Drawmod.
Okay, so this is gonna have to be a map between a registry ID and the changes that you want.
All right. Oh, someone's
Um,
asking if we hydrated. I've been hydrating.
I got my water bottle. Okay, so this needs to be a map. Which is, of course, going to cause other errors. What is item ID 250 hex FA? Um,
Psych Bomb X.
yeah.
Um, yeah, that is not a repeat item in Japan demo. I don't know why they did that. Oh wait, no. Psych Bomb is the only repeat item in Japan demo.
Okay.
Power ups, speed downs, all that is actually dropped by mobs.
So this is what you should do there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, all these need to be fixed. Be that.
Well, comments are useful for once. I don't usually comment when I am mostly solo working on a project.
Get into the habit of leaving yourself comments is a pretty good idea either way.
I think in the Visual Basic version of Dragoon modifier, it was in a single file. It was 20,000 lines of code, and I don't think there was a single comment.
Cool.
uh,
This from flag method is going to disappear. You should just be pulling these from the registries. Um, Wait, you're just getting the element of each thing, right?
yeah, I'm just getting the element.
So player.item.get attack element.
Yeah, that would work. It just so happened to be that all of the power items were grouped together, which is why I just had that ID range.
Yeah, that's going to
But now with registries, you have to check. Unless you can get the registry item ID that's being used.
no. Those
Right, okay.
are essentially, for all intents and purposes, gone. What's up, Gray? How's it going? We're doing pretty well. We're working on getting the Dramod stuff updated so that we can get Hell mode running on separate chains.
Monoxide is doing code for me. I should be paying him.
Okay, so I think you probably just want to have like,
If it's like just change that to a big or statement, right? If it's one of these items,
yeah,
just get the attack element.
burning wave or item equals frozen jet. Downburst.
If Helmut started off with the oof scene, then you can't do the duplication of items. I actually
Duplication of
encourage
items?
people. Yeah, I've been encouraging people to use the add Shanna and Levitz back to the party
Oh.
because you can duplicate like the items Martel gives you. I'm like, use any method that Dramon has to make the game easier for you. And that was one of them. So you can have like 2 physical rings in disc 1. And I wouldn't consider that like, oh, you're cheating or whatever.
This just gets deleted. This is just more variable update. Okay, so that leaves the edition hit properties and changing how items are loaded in.
Right, my laziness here.
Yeah, so that is going to be a bigger issue. That's going to have to be updated to have a registry ID.
Oh,
Um,
and I finally remembered the reason why I don't have actual names for the items. If you're switching back and forth between different mod difficulties and the item names aren't the same, you're gonna bork your save. So at least
um,
if you switch back,
I don't think.
like Hell Mode has more items than like
Are
just the
you
base US version, right?
are you actually changing the item names table?
Yes.
Um,
If we load up Japan demo, a bunch of the item names are actually different due to the weird translations.
yeah, that's a problem.
So I can't have like, what was it? It was either like thief shoes or bandit shoes. Like we retranslated all the names and items from Japan demo.
Are you sure you're changing this table? Because there's no reference to item names in your code.
Uh oh, that table? No. No.
Okay, well
Because
that's
item itself has the name.
yeah, that's where the registry keys come from.
Yeah, I don't actually edit that table itself.
So that shouldn't break any saves.
But the problem is Dramod takes over all the items and equips you gain.
Oh, so you're conditionally registering items. Yeah,
Right.
that's
Every time you pick up a burnout, it's changed to Dramod burnout. Because if someone edited the table for burnout's damage, that needs to be reflected in the game itself. I can't use the normal LOD burnout because then their changes won't be reflected.
Well, ideally, there you would be using events for that. Um,
I do have to use events for monsters because when they're using, uh, let's just use Spear Frost again, right? Or let's use Spear Brain Fart. Let's use Black Rain from Linus, right?
mhm,
If she uses what she's using is LOD uh, Black Rain, but then when it comes to the attack event, I have to say, oh, they're using LOD Black Rain. I have to change it to Dramon Black Rain and get the damage number for there because enemies and players share the same item table essentially.
mhm. Um, so what would be stopping you from using an event to update that item for the player as well? Uh,
Hmm.
is does that event not exist or
The event does exist. It's the attack event, but uh,
so what one big issue probably the biggest issue with the way that we're going about this in Dramod right now is um you're you're conditionally registering items, right? Is that the case? Like there could be
yeah,
different items registered for different difficulties.
right. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, that is a big problem. Because let's say somebody loads up normal mode and then switches to hell mode in the configuration
Right.
while they're playing. So you're not gonna have the hell mode items loaded, right?
No, it's gonna deload all the hellload items and then load back up the normal
Uh,
retail copy of items.
you can't modify the registry after it's been booted because that would play
Right.
hell on everything.
I guess the only solution is to lock out changing
No, you
difficulties and
need
only.
you need to register all of your possible items at boot up, whether they're going to be used or not.
Oh, this is the problem with only testing one difficulty, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
So when you boot Dramod, it should be registering everything that it needs, even if it's not going to be used.
oh, I guess then, okay, here's where the classes need to come in. I need to change everything to class and say, oh, you have 10 difficulty folders, load up everything,
Hmm.
and then register based on the mod ID and the folder name itself.
Yeah. Um.
And then I guess also switching difficulties should not be a thing for your save. It should be, oh, I'm doing a hell mode campaign, so I'm only going to play hell mode. And that would solve most of the issues.
Probably. Um. So I think we should get to a place where you don't need to be replacing everything with your own items. And that way
Yeah.
you only need to register new items, like brand new content.
The thing is, like, oh, I changed Heatblade's attack, so how would we handle that? Like, when you go to an item map and you pick up Heatblade from a box, it's automatically going to give me the normal retail copy of it. But in Hell mode, the actual Heatblade has an increased attack stat. So how
Yeah,
do you handle that?
well, we want to handle that type of thing using the events. Um, so we've got, of course, there's damage and damage multiplier. What is the difference between damage and damage multiplier again?
For items,
Yeah.
multiplier was only used for healing, and then damage was used for just all the attack items.
All right, we're talking about equipment now anyway.
Oh, equipment.
Um, okay, so equipment damage. We've got attack 1 and then we've got attack 2. And what is the difference between attack 1 and attack 2?
Literally nothing. If you have 10 in attack and 10 in attack 2, it gives you 20. I don't know why they did this, but that's how it's done. I don't think anything uses attack 2.
Um,
Maybe at one point they were trying to make an attack item above 255 and that's how they wanted to handle it for some reason. I don't know.
so the two values can be, so we've got this here, attack, but then we've also got attack 1, which is only attack 1. And this value is accessible from scripts. I wonder if Icarus is in the chat right now and could look into that.
Icarus should be sleeping at this hour.
He's usually here for the streams, though, for whatever reason. Okay. Let's look at this. Yeah, so these equipment values are directly readable from scripts. It looks like they aren't really used elsewhere. Yeah, we'll have to see if that's actually used. Um, yeah, I mean, we should probably just jack something in here. Right, we did have the equipment stats event that is no longer a thing. No, I didn't ping him. Not super high priority. Okay, so we yeeted this event. But we can unyeet it. Actually, I'm going to do that uh on main rather than here. What method are we in? Apply equipment stats.
Right.
Does that make sense to you, Zychronics?
What are we looking at?
We reinstate the equipment stats event.
Yeah, that looks right. Uh, I think last year I was using it and it was mostly fine.
Hmm. Um. Right. So this table can get entirely removed. Equipment stats as a class is not actually used at all anymore. Okay, so yeah, that's only used by the equipment stats event. You're not wrong. Okay, where was that? Apply equipment stats. Yes, item. So now let's think about this for a minute. So where is apply equipment stats used? Used in load character stats. Is used quite a bit. Equipment screen, shop screen, even used in submaps. So I think this should cover most things. Okay, so it will no longer have that final parameter because that class doesn't exist anymore, or at least it won't in a moment. Now, this should be the actual object, not just ID. And the annoying part is that we need to add all of these Let's just maybe do the ones that make sense.
No, we need everything. That's the unfortunate part. Can you pass everything all at once and then
Well, we can pass in the equipment object itself, but we need
put
a
everything
way
in the
to...
equip? Yeah, everything in there is final already, which is the unfortunate part.
Well, no, it's not unfortunate. It's it needs to be that way.
Unfortunate for me.
Now, need to set all of these values.
Why has IntelliJ not added something for this where you can just select add to your main constructor?
Well, we're not adding it to the constructor, we're copying it from the equipment.
Right. Okay, that makes more sense. It's called Chat GPT. Oh no. I
No,
still
thank you.
have not used that at all.
Because you're a real programmer, TM. Okay.
Yeah, the only AI I've been touching is the image processing stuff.
Now here's the thing, we can just do this. And it's done. And now instead of reading from the equipment, we read back from the event. Nope, can't find and replace. A dot after it. Hear that, Zychronics? We're good ASMR.
I hope you enjoy my monotone robotic voice.
Alright. This was done kind of weird. That could be an or equals. No need for branching. Okay, so that's the equipment stats event making its triumphant return. What else do you need in order to not create duplicate items?
We're moving on from equips to items now.
Or, I mean, everything really.
Everything. Um. Okay. So now that I have the equipment stats event back, Dramod will load from the table when it encounters a certain registry ID, which I then need to map to an integer ID in the table. In Dramod itself, it's going to just
Okay, so
call the characters.
you should get rid of the integer tables and just have those be registry keys. Like have the first column be a registry key.
But then I still need a registry to registry ID. How is Dramod going to say, oh, someone wants to change Broadsword to 5 attack, but
So
they also want to change the name of it to something else, to just sword?
so name, I mean, that would be um I'm getting rid of the name fields and description fields and everything in item and equipment
All
and
right.
stuff very soon. That's going to be moved into the translation files. We will probably have a translation event, or I'll add a way for mods to override translation keys or something. We'll have to decide a good way to do that. As for changing its attack, um, it would basically be what you're doing now. Apply equipment stats event. You just check to see if the registry ID is in your list of things to change, and if it is, you change it.
So, yeah, that drama table needs to be
It just
changed
needs to
from
be,
integer IDs to registries.
yeah, so that's what
Or
I
there needs to be a
already
registry call. Okay.
that's what I
Yeah.
already did
Okay.
here, but now it just needs to be loaded like that. So, you could basically just like make the first column of your CSV the registry ID, and then that's much better because then things don't have to be positional. Like right now, if somebody messed around with this and like shuffled a couple of rows around, then that changes everything. Um,
Right.
Whereas if you only had like specific like registry key, like if you had registry keys as the first column, somebody could just add what they want to modify and only what they want to modify. Maybe you should
I
make an
think,
LOD themed kitchen table, Pony Bro.
yeah, I think that would work.
It would definitely work because, rather than matching based on integer ID, which doesn't exist anymore for all intents and purposes, um, where you're just matching on registry ID instead.
So in Japan demo where I have the item names changed and the descriptions change,
We'll need to figure out
it
how that's
just
gonna
needs to
work
point to,
for like names
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, like the new name is still going to point to the corresponding item
Mm-hmm.
in the LD base mod registry. So
Yeah.
then everything should be fine after that.
Uh,
Okay.
and also keep in mind using registry keys would allow you to modify equipment and stuff from other mods as well.
Oh no, all the mods are gonna break. I need to make a converter.
So like if Ink registered a bunch of random weapons and stuff, and somebody wanted to modify them, but Ink didn't want to listen to those people and he just wanted to make things his own way, they would be able to use Dramod to modify stats of his weapons as well.
Bringing it back to the true original version of this for Sever Chains.
Yep.
All right. I need to convert all of these tables over the weekend.
Yeah, it should just be a matter of injecting a column.
Yeah. I think I'm still going to keep, like, all these tables are basically retail table dumps, minus a few things. So
Hmm.
I'm still going to keep that, but just add into new column.
Push here. Bars. Need to merge main. Gonna cause some conflicts. We'll update that real quick.
So now we
All
have
stuff moved. Sorry, go ahead.
the equipment event. Do we have the item stats event?
Great question. I'll check that in a sec. Always make sure things still run. This is going to need a new unpack, isn't it? Because you pulled that stuff out into files.
Right, yeah, you need a new unpack.
So we're gonna have
Unfortunately.
to bump the unpacker version.
Oh right, I did not do that.
Unpacker 5. Um, oh, big thing here is Icronix is that this branch will not run unless you manually copy in my new player combat script.
Oh, fun.
Um, I'm going to have to, I guess, implement something alongside the patcher that allows us to just compile and replace the script rather than patching. That'll be easy enough. So we'll just wait for this to finish unpacking.
I was having that same or similar issue with what I'm doing with the final stretch of Dramod. So I'm replacing monster scripts. I was like, oh, how do I do this?
Yeah, that
Com-
is tricky for mods replacing things.
So I was gonna wait for the no dart stuff to be fixed.
Hmm. Here,
Wait, no. Is it no
I
dart stuff player or monster scripts?
No Dart is mostly monster scripts.
Okay, yeah. I remember. Yeah, okay. I was
Okay.
going to wait for that to be finished and then I was going to just copy those and then make my changes to them.
The problem is that so what exactly are you trying to do to monsters?
So I'm trying to make uh special versions of monsters with different AI because you can do this boss rush type mode in Dramod. That's the last thing I need to import. But I
Yeah,
want
so
this time to be special because we're using SC. So I
hmm,
actually want to change the AI for some of the monsters because I didn't have the opportunity to do that to the extent I wanted to originally on emulator because it was too complicated.
hmm. So the problem is there's no real mechanism for mods to distribute script patches right now.
Right. I was originally gonna have Dramod have like a diff patcher that would patch the well, it'll take the SE version of the monster and then apply my changes on top of that through a patcher. So I'm not just distributing the decompiled code.
Yeah, that's tricky. Hmm.
But this is like a specific thing that only Dramod will trigger. Like it's not tied to any difficulty. It's just this very specific thing you can do Dramod is locked down
I mean
for this and this only.
it might be better to well, it would definitely be better for us to make it so that you could just load an arbitrary monster package and not have to like modify a monster script in order to do that.
That's
What
why I
if
have the Dragoon file event. That's what that event was for.
I was just gonna say, what if we hooked into the script loading code and allowed patches to be applied at runtime?
That sounds complicated.
It would be really easy,
Well,
actually. Like
yeah, I just have a
the
skill issue.
well, I mean, the script patcher, like it's dead simple. Um, the script patcher is built into the decompiler, which is pulled into separate chains already. Um, yeah, this is it. Like you just call patch file, which is just basically loads it up, decompiles, patches, recompiles. 3 lines.
Oh, hmm. That would be a better solution than what I came up with.
Yeah, if you're going to be doing patches, you should definitely use the sever chain script patcher code because that's already built. No need to reinvent the wheel. Yeah, I've got the player combat script copied in. By the way, I uploaded the player combat script to the Black Castle. You can grab it.
Oh, okay.
Because otherwise the battle UI will just crash.
Let me copy that into Dramod, but I won't commit the changes yet. Oh, is it working?
No, that's not Dramod. This is just Sever Chains. I'm just merging
Alright.
in our equipment event.
Mm,
Okay, so equipment event is now available on main.battlemenu.xi. Um, that is now
mm.
the branch that you should be using um, for your Dramod deploys.
That sounds good. I think through the UI can commit and push without fear.
Okay, so do we have an item stats event? No. Did we have an item stats event?
I don't think
Grandma
we ever
deploys.
had one. Grandma deploys.
All right. On that note, yeah, item usage is a lot more complicated. I have moved more of it inside of the item class, but not really a great design. I was more focused on just getting it to work.
I mean, the main things Dramod users will need to modify is the damage, the icon, the name. Because when you create a new item in Dramod, it has to point to an existing dev script,
Yeah.
or the item has to not be used in battle.
Yeah, so that's part of what I'm working on in the player combat script changes. Um, Pony Bro, I'm not sure what you mean by note. So we've got this big table here. Now, I have made it bail if the item ID is greater than 65, and
Yeah,
I do,
this is what I had that weird code for in SC. If the item ID was above 64, I needed to retrieve the name and description through the event instead.
yeah. Oh, of course. Yes, it's much funnier if you have to explain it. I did something somewhere to account for I want to say it was in the battle code. Way too many matches for that. Equals 65 maybe? Nope. I did something somewhere.
Did you do
Here we go.
greater or equal to six? Oh, okay. Oh,
Um, so if it's not a retail item, then that'll trigger that code in the player combat script. You just skip the effect. Um, Ideally, we would want to be able to like inject code into the player combat script or something. We don't necessarily need to run it in the player combat script. We could allocate another script state and allow mods to run their own item handler in there.
run their own item handler so I can finally do perfect shield.
Yeah. So, I mean the scripts for all these. Well, here you go. Here's magical shield and material shield. Um, they run this function. I'm not sure what that does. That's at basically like the start of almost every item. Um, yeah, it just gets your slot. It sets your magic shield value. So that sets your magic shield to 3 turns. It plays the sound. It allocates the effect. It waits, and then it does the cleanup or whatever this is, and that's it. Like you could do this, and instead of hex C, you could just make that hex F, and that would give you perfect shield.
I mean, it's sitting there in the item menu or the stats table.
Well, there you go. Do you have an item ID for it?
Uh, let me bring up the table here.
I'm guessing it's this one here. The entry just before magic shield and material shield.
I believe so. Yes.
Because yeah, it's set to a do nothing method that just
No
returns.
wonder it doesn't work.
Yep, that would do it.
That is disappointing.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how exactly we want to make this extensible. Because, it wouldn't be too hard. Um, we could just have this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, perfect shield is right above magic shield.
Yeah, there we go.
I just double checked. I don't know if the dev script actually has anything in it though. I didn't actually try to trigger it.
Not sure. Um, So yeah, in here, rather than returning, we could have something that calls into engine code and allocates a script state that points to like whatever script the modder wants to run, and then basically just have like a infinite loop in the player combat script that waits for that other script to finish running. I think that that would work pretty well, actually.
And how difficult is that?
Not really. We could bang that out in an hour.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
um, yeah, you would just need to learn how to write scripts to be able to do that. It's not particularly difficult.
Oh yeah, like the entry points and all that from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to define like a single entry point probably. And then it would mostly just be copying and pasting code from the player combat script. You could like load whatever def you wanted or whatnot. Let's say we go to Magic Shield again. We jump into allocate Magic Shield effect. So that allocates the guard effect. It sets the color of it. Sets the position and scale. Waits 2 frames. Adds the color change, lifespan attachment, and a particle effect. Yeah, that's it. So that's the throwing animation. Now we'd have to figure out how the def allocation happens as well.
I believe it just based on the item ID, it picks a number. But I do not know how that works for what is it too I had trouble with? Uh healing potion.
Healing potion and healing fog use uh the same def.
Right. Because I was when I was originally coding Dramon, it's like okay, it's loading the item ID times 2 to load in a new def, right?
Hmm.
So I was expecting healing potion to be using def 4329, but then I had to change it to 4385, which is healing fog. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure how or
Yeah, I'm pretty
where that
sure
is
it's
being set.
I'm pretty sure it's handled in the scripts. Um, but yeah, we can probably figure that out this weekend. Um, and I think that once we finish up here tonight, I'm going to get this code out to testers so that they can start running through the different items and things like that. Make sure I haven't broken anything. We need to check and make sure that the damage numbers and everything are still sane because I've done a lot of script patches here. Basically patching almost like every single item. These, and then there's still some more that I need to patch too. What's up, Ninchi?
That is a lot of changes. No wonder there was 83 files when I was merging the patches folder.
Yeah. Icarus has a lot too for all of the Dremod fixes he's been working on. By the way, anybody who doesn't know, we've merged almost all of the no dart fixes into the dev build now. I think there's only currently 5, maybe 3 bosses that are still crashing. Everything else works with no dart. So yeah,
Almost caught up to original Dramon there.
yep. Um, yeah, I think we're good to merge at least the menu changes that I made once we've got some once we've had the testers go through everything. I've got all of the various menus working properly. Um, yeah, I think it'll just be a matter of going through all the various items and things to make sure that we get the expected results. Especially making sure that bosses who use items still work properly. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, Inc., that's what we would normally do, but whereas we've been telling people lately that the dev build is in good shape and playable, I've been trying to avoid putting anything like highly risky on main before we get it tested. Don't want to have a bunch of people playing and crashing. Doesn't make for a great experience. I might even do that now. To prefix those changes, I should have merged here first and then merged to the drama changes, but the world. Why do I see 2 conflicts there, but I'm only getting here? What am I looking? Right, I had deleted that, but we have now restored it, so that is correct. Oops. Uh, and let's get this built. Oh, I had an entire unpack in here. That's why it's so large. Alright, Zychronics. Do you have anything else that you wanted to do tonight?
I have a question about the battle menu.
Sure.
Can we finally add icons or new icons to it?
Unfortunately, most of what I did was just the list part, like item list, spell list, edition list. I do plan on refactoring the icons as well. I actually I reverse engineered well, I figured out a lot of the icon code and what the various icons do and things like that. Um so that'll be a lot easier going forward. Um I'm not sure if I'll do that in the near future. Um, Depends on how some of this other stuff goes, but it's definitely something we can look into fairly soon.
Yeah, I'm just asking because I have the hacky way of adding guarding in Dragoon form.
Hmm,
You just use a hotkey, it takes 100 SP away, and then it gives you guard. And then you can hear all the. I'm not going to say they're unused, but there's a different sound effect when you're guarding in Dragoon form.
interesting. Yeah, we'll have to look into that. I understand it enough that it's definitely doable now. Interestingly, I also found that at one point there was definitely a detransform option. There's some remnants, like very, very small remnants in the player combat script. That's pretty interesting.
I'm not sure how we did that in Dramon. It was Olepri who did the fixes for no dart, where dart would essentially, or the player you swap dart as would de-transform into dart, and that's how we did no dart. It's
Gotcha.
well the second version, right?
Yeah,
So I'm not sure if we're using that or something else.
that's an interesting way of handling it.
Yeah, well, nothing else,
All
or
right,
nothing I can
well,
think of at the top of my head.
yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there then. I'd like to get this build out to some testers and get the testing underway. Um, but yeah, huge thanks to everybody who tuned in here tonight. If you like what we're doing, please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Helps us out a lot. If you really like what we're doing, there is a donation link in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. You can send a one-off donation or subscribe monthly for various perks. It wasn't that short of a stream, Pony Bro. We did 2 hours. I know once in a while we go over that, but the uh, the general length for the streams is usually around 2 hours. So,
We need
uh,
to at least make it to 108 minutes.
108 minutes. What are we at now? Um, can I even see that on the dashboard? I don't think I can see that on the dashboard.
Oh, but it says we started streaming 113 minutes ago.
All right, we did it. Yeah, 24-hour Severed Chains stream coming up. All right. Anyway, everybody. Hope you all have a good night. And I will see you on Discord and see you on the next dev stream on Wednesday. Bye, everyone.